Hi, my name's Jess Scott. I'm from Oracle Solutions, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you choose an asbestos removal contractor. Now, there are two different types of contractor in the main. One is a licensed asbestos removal contractor, and one is a non-licensed asbestos removal contractor. So let's talk about the difference between licensed and non-licensed asbestos removal. Now, non-licensed asbestos is the lower risk asbestos items such as cement, floor tiles, bitumen, that type of thing. Whereas the licensed is the higher risk asbestos items, things such as lagging, insulation boards, and that type of thing. So, in order to do the high risk asbestos removal items, you must have been granted a license by the HSE. And in order to do that, you have to apply to the HSE for a license. There are stringent checks, and the HSE makes sure that you are competent to do the works, and hence you have a licensed asbestos contractor. Now, they can only, and they're the only ones that can do licensed asbestos removal works. The non-licensed contractor, on the other hand, does not have stringent checks by the HSE. They do not require a license. There are certain things they have to do, but there isn't anyone that checks to make sure that everything's in place. Now, in the main, most non-licensed removal contractors tend to be general other types of contractors, and they may have had asbestos training to be able to remove low risk items. Now, as you can imagine, there are risks using a non-licensed asbestos contractor. Not for all of them, but you do have to make a few checks. One of the first things that you should be checking if you're not going to use a licensed contractor is the insurance. Now, if you're licensed, the HSE will only grant you the license if they've seen your insurance. For non-licensed contractors, there are many out there that do asbestos removal work and they're not actually insured to do the work. Unfortunately for you, this gives you no protection. So be sure to check to make sure they have appropriate levels of insurance for the work that you're asking them to do if you are going to use a non-licensed asbestos removal contractor. The next thing that you can do is you can look at what other accreditations each company has. Now, this goes for licensed contractors and non-licensed contractors. There are many other accreditations that people can get. These are things such as Safe Contractor, CHAS, Achilles. There are many more. Now, although they're not strictly asbestos related, what they do show you is that they have passed some sort of health and safety audit to make sure that they've got protocols in place which make sure that they are doing things to a certain level. So this all goes towards helping you understand that the contractor you're about to use is someone who is competent to do the work. The next thing that you need to check is their expertise. How long have they been doing the asbestos removal work? Have they got a long standing reputation for undertaking good asbestos removal work? Have they got the experience? So if you've got a licensed contractor that's been licensed for, say, 10, 15 years, because licenses are issued in the main 3 years at a time, it means that they would have been rechecked by the HSE, including visits to their sites. So you know that they've had lots and lots of checks, they've been doing it a long time, so the likelihood is that they've got good experience and they've got the expertise to do the job safely. Now, if you've got a fairly new contractor or a non-licensed contractor that's only just recently started doing it, then you have to ask the question, have they got the experience, have they got the expertise? And when it comes to asbestos, if you're raising these questions, you need to think very carefully about using people that haven't got the experience or the expertise or may not have to do your job. Now, the other thing that I like to do with our customers is I give them numbers and I give them references. So if you're using a contractor, whether they be non-licensed or they be licensed, there's no reason that you can't ask to see references from other customers where they've done asbestos removal work, and they should be able to give you numbers and you should be able to talk to people so you can double check that they were happy with the work that was done. This gives you another level that it means that you're getting the job that you're paying to have done. Now, one of the other things that happens quite often is when we look at price and we look at value for money. Now, we all want a good price and we all want good value for money, but at the end of the day, you do need to be wary if there is a very low price for doing your work. if you've gone out to more than one person for a price, which is usual, and you've got, say, 3 prices, and you've got 2 prices that are here, and you've got a very, very low price, you've got to ask yourself the question, why is that price so low? And usually it's because corners are being cut, the job is not being done in the way that you want it done, or they haven't got things in place in their company, which means that they haven't got the costs that everyone else has got, so they can afford a very, very low price. And if that's the case, that's a big risk that you're taking on your part. So I would suggest moving forward, any asbestos removal work, if you're going to have it done, try and look to using an asbestos removal company that's got a license. That way, at least you get some form of guarantee that they are competent and they've got the experience to do the work safely. I hope that's been of help to you. If you do need to discuss this any further, feel free to call a member of our team. Thank you.